Just call me new. Happy Friday, everybody. July 26th. Oh my goodness. 2024. We're in the middle of the midst of hell. Isn't that what it feels like? So, I would have been ready this morning. But of course, I got phone calls that I had to deal with and all that good stuff. So I was late trying to get up here, and I'm very, very sorry. I was really trying hard, but it just nothing wanted to cooperate. Everybody and their dog wanted to call, and you name it. But I made it. Right away, I just want to see if I can. Who knows? I'll probably get a strike for this, but we're gonna see. I don't know if anybody watches Benny Johnson, but dude is rocking. I mean, he went to Pennsylvania, Butler, Pennsylvania, to the whole location, went through all of that, and because just to let y'all know, I ain't dressed yet. I got makeup on, I got my hair done, but my clothes aren't on. So, I still need to get dressed, but I wanted you guys to hear a little bit of what Benny says, and I don't know. I'm going to try to get in a strike. We'll see what happens here. Let's see. I'm wondering if I can do it without showing him. If you were just to listen to it, I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know. You can tell I'm cluster fucked as usual and on my Friday coffee club. Okay, no, not that one. Where is it? There he is. All right, let's see. Just do audio, maybe. That's what I'm going to try to figure out, honey. Okay, so there he is. But if I take... How do I take his picture down and leave the audio? I don't know how to do that. I really want you guys to hear what he has to say, because he has had some really important stuff come up. Like, look, number one, let me just tell you that he has found out that, you know, the Three Stooges, whatever you want to call those dumb bimbos that were standing there, and the one bitch didn't know how to put her gun back in the holster or anything else. Those women were... Just minimize it and keep rolling. Okay, tell me if you guys can still hear it.
Amazing.
If I minimize it.
Guess who was allowed to fly a drone? Oh, and you see that broken gate? We're going to get that in just a second. Guess who was allowed to fly a drone? We were allowed to fly a drone. We flew the drone. I don't know. We flew our drone and showed you exactly. Look at this. This is our footage. You're seeing it?
What if I do
for the first time here on the
program, like that? And then you can't really see it.
We're going to really tell the story.
I mean, you can, but maybe, I don't know.
Get that sucker up, baby. You're going to know the truth. Everyone's going to know the truth. The world's going to know the truth.
But
this is the...
He's going to talk about the water tower now. This is the part I want you guys to hear.
Eric was running.
So hopefully we can at least play this part. It's a bit low. Okay, just a minute.
Of the water tower that the water tower would have had over President Trump. Look at how authoritative this view would have been. This is why Corey Mills and Eli Crane, the members of Congress, Navy SEAL, Army, Rangers of Congress, who've done security detail around the world in war zones, said, why the hell wasn't anybody on this water tower? That's the building right there. I'm going to pause the footage. Do you see the water tower? Do you see how easy it would have been? Look at the entire railing around the water tower. See how easy it would have been to put somebody up there?
What happened?
You see the rooftop? The rooftop on the large building right there. The white van in the parking lot. That's where Crooks shot his shot. At President Trump. President Trump there in the field. Are you understanding geospatially where we are here? This water tower would have shown you everything. But no one was there. Why was no one there? We walked up to the base of the water tower just to see what we could see.
Sign.
You know, we found a brand new sign that says, if you see something, say something. Please report any suspicious activity. If you see something, say something. A brand new sign.
The base of the water tower.
Strange. So we also found, not only if you see something, say something, we found a brand new lock on the water tower. I don't know if this is odd or strange. But it is what it is. Here you go. This is a photo of a brand spanking new lock on the water tower. Big golden lock. Everything else on the water tower is old, rusty, and in need of repair, as you can see here. This was just put on probably that day. Was it open? Was the water tower left open? I don't know. But you...
Something seems a little fishy with the fact that it's an old brand new lock.
Not just the convenient news.
I could have swore we
catch things like this. Our superpower is this.
Of people up on that
tower.
tower.
Pay attention. That's it. That's our superpower.
I know. And
we paid attention. So why is there a brand new lock on the water
somebody
tower?
On that tower.
Okay, maybe it's nothing.
During
maybe
the rally.
It's worse than you could possibly imagine. As you can see, the old chain had either been cut or was just simply so rusty it was inoperable. We don't know. We don't know.
I don't.
According to members of Congress, this is where I'm getting this information. That water tower is
the hiking up the
of the
water
Department of
tower.
Homeland Security. That water tower is what our members of Congress were obsessed with. They were obsessed with finding out who wouldn't station somebody on that water tower. It's one thing to say the guys in the second floor window here. See that second floor window? See the second story? The first roof is where Crooks fired. The second floor is where they had the sniper team. It's one thing to say that sniper team, they were out on a cigarette break when Crooks just happened to shoot his firearm. Whatever. That's the story we were told. Not a cigarette break. One of them got locked outside. The other one went. They abandoned their position. On the order of who? Okay, so we've already talked about that. It's one thing to say that. It's a totally different thing to say, why was there a sniper team there in the first place? Why not put the sniper team in the up on the water tower that is the highest point in the entire county, that has perfect overwatch over the entire event? And none of this would have happened. It just wouldn't. I don't know how to tell you. Again, I'm no security expert. I am not a cop. I am not a sniper. I do own firearms. I think I'm a pretty good shot, but I don't do this professionally. You don't want me guarding you don't want me guarding your bar, right? You don't want me as a security guard, as a bouncer at a club. I'd be no good. That's not my background. But even I can tell you that you want the high ground in a situation like this. Am I wrong? Am I taking crazy pills? The Navy SEAL and the 82nd Airborne veteran with combat tactical security background, Eli Crane and Corey Mills, they both told me that this water tower is the smoking gun. But it's the smoking gun for the wrong reason. Not because there was some secret shooter up there, but because there wasn't a shooter up there from the service teams with a smoking gun smoking Thomas Crooks before he was able to get shots off at President Trump. The way this would have worked is if somebody was up there on the water tower, the way that they described it to me is, hey, there's a suspicious guy on the roof. He's got a gun. And as I have shown you, Thomas Crooks had a long time on that roof. Here's the water tower. Here's the roof. Here's where Thomas Crooks entered. Here's where he had to walk and run. And when we were there, we weren't allowed to go on this part of the roof. The one time we were stopped We weren't allowed to go on this part of the roof because the FBI was investigating all of Crooks's movement up here. We weren't allowed. Can't go. The FBI was still investigating these parts of the roof. Thomas Crooks over here, ladies and gentlemen, was able to climb here and do this very long. And as you could see, as you saw his movements, very lumbering, non-athletic. Who knows how long he took on this rooftop? But look at this. If you're a shooter, or if you're just like me, if you're just approaching this from like a layman's perspective, look at the perfect location, that gigantic water tower. Our members of Congress wanted to get up on that water tower badly. Couldn't get it done on this trip. We wanted to get up there, but we could fly a drone. So I'll show you one more time, ladies and gentlemen. This was the shot. This was from the water tower. I'll play it from the beginning. Look at what a perfect location this would have been to prevent bad things from happening to President Trump. And no one was there. And no drone was allowed to fly. And the snipers that did have overwatch of where Crooks was were told to hit the bricks. We know that. We know it. We have the sources. And we went there ourselves, damn it. We went there ourselves.
So one of the things that just really blows me away is the fact that
One final thing.
that they found out that
That is, I've been saving.
Secret Service. It wasn't Secret Service that they hired. That was literally some DHS people they pulled off of the
This is a
out of the back room
Fox got exclusively
to go
very
stand
high
around
quality.
with a gun.
A lot of the stuff we've seen of Crooks is low quality, kind of Android, Android with a, low battery footage. Fox has high quality footage of Crooks. And I'm going to point something out to you. But first, I'm going to show you this footage and show you how obvious this guy was. Here we go.
We just obtained exclusive new video of the assassination attempt 10 days ago. It is the clearest and closest video we've seen yet, taken by an eyewitness who was there with his family next to the AGR building as Thomas Crooks opened fire. You can hear 8 shots, what sounds like 8 shots, followed by 2 counter sniper shots, including the kill shot from the Secret Service. Watch and listen. At one point, Thomas Crooks points his rifle at the eyewitness and those rally goers. This is what he told us about security on that day.
Definitely wasn't secure. I'm actually ex-military. One of the first things I noticed when we walked up, I'm like, none of us have been vetted. We're all along the fence. We all have view of the stage. We can see Trump.
What that man just said is true. You didn't necessarily need us to investigate that, as it is available in the video evidence. Of course, you can see here all of the people wandering about freely as they call out to Thomas Crooks. We'll do this as a you can see this video. Many of the angles of these videos are relatively the same.
So I'm gonna.
But here's what you're seeing, and this I did not know until we actually got on site. These people standing along.
Wait, I'll stop after this.
You can see this is some of the rigging of the
So I
stage.
can say my good mornings to everybody.
They're listening to Donald Trump. You can hear Donald Trump's voice clear as a bell.
I wouldn't doing the job. I wouldn't even be doing this. I get some beautiful places to gorgeous ocean.
These people standing along the fence line are nigh on 80 yards from Trump. They have a perfect view of the stage. They weren't vetted at all. There were hundreds, if not maybe thousands in the aggregate, of individuals who were able to bring lawn chairs, who were able to bring roller bags, who were able to bring luggage, who were able to bring Pelican cases, who were able to bring the cookout.
Fucking
who were able
crazy.
to bring tailgating equipment.
You just got to be out of your
Within
mind.
80 yards of President Trump. Now you're talking less than the end zones. 100-yard field. Okay, so now shrink it. The end zones add an extra 10 yards. So now shrink the field to an 80-yard field. We used the rangefinder. We found out from a precision perspective how far away Donald Trump was from these people standing at the fence line. We walked it ourselves. Listen to this.
Seeing Thomas Crooks up here on the rooftop, his being able to climb up on the rooftop, we're learning so much more about actually being here on site. But check this out. This fence line, anybody could have walked up this fence line. Anyone. Any person.
It is
any bag,
nuts.
or any item. Could have walked right in a suitcase. Could carry this fence line. And right through there, you can see there is the stage. 80 yards away. 80 yards from this fence line. So there's, of course, the building, the rooftop, where Crooks was. But anyone else could have walked right up here. You know what this is? You know what this is? And I'm no security expert, but it's a kill box.
It's a kill box.
All right. Oh, what the fuck? I hate it when my screen just blacks out. Okay, you guys can't hear it anymore, can you? Okay. So I'm going to just, okay. So I just want to turn it down. And if he says something, because he's live right now, and so if he says something of importance, then I'll hurry up and pop it back up. But no, I'm not naked no more. I got my clothes on. I swear. I put some clothes on. I swear I did. Just so everybody doesn't have to witness that. Oh, my light. That'll blind you. Okay. So this is what you get for Friday morning. This is what you get for me that's going to go out and paint my grass green. What are you doing on a Friday? I'm painting my grass green. I'd be proud of you. Honey, I'm already proud of you. They did allow him to get on the roof. If you get a chance to go back and watch Benny, he will explain to you that not only was he allowed to get on the roof, everybody left their post that was supposed to be making sure that nobody was getting in that building. Here's another thing you won't know, but straight across, if you're looking at those red barns and you look straight across the field, down the end of the field, right across the road is a building that's like perfect for somebody to be sitting and all of that shenanigan stuff going on. Nobody ever went to that man's business. Benny said what the business was. I can't remember what it was, but nobody went to that building and talked to anybody. They didn't look at it. They didn't do anything with it. They just literally left it open for whoever to get into and do whatever they needed to do. And if all of this shit that we have learned doesn't scream set up, I don't know how we would ever prove that it was. I mean, there's literally fucking video. What more do people want? It used to be that you had to find your evidence in another way. Now there's video for everything, and yet it still nothing happens to these people. Because let's remember that if you work for the government, you pretty much got immunity. If you get with the right people in the government, you can basically do anything and get by with it. Which is exactly why our government needs to be taken down and redone. Sorry to say, but it needs to happen. It needs to be completely revamped. And I mean every single person that was a politician today. I don't even think if you're related to a politician, I don't think you should be allowed to be in when we revamp all this shit. I think they should completely get rid of anybody that has anything to do and just start fresh anew. So it's so frustrating to me. Oh, I muted him. The most transparent administration in history. Oh my gosh. And I do believe that it would have to be the number one thing you would do to start anew would be the transparency would have to be so open that, I mean, you could walk right through the shit. The fact he was armed, Army vet, I would think not. Question. If someone would have shot the shooter before he shot, would you be charged? No, he had a gun and he was pointing it at him. I mean, that should have been enough. The fact that he had a gun and it was going in any direction of that area, I mean, I don't understand it. You just heard Benny say that all those people that were parked against the fence, none of them were vetted. They were a lot. They could have took a whole damn trunk in and they just let them go in. That seems very strange to me. Especially for as high profile as it. I mean, come on, let's be real. Not only was he a rich millionaire, but he was a president once and is running again. I don't know how much more security somebody would need than that. And he was hated by quite a few people because, you know, you can tell when somebody is really, really hated by those leftist type of people that you're doing the right thing. You know that if, like, when a leftist person tells me they hate me, I know I've done it right. I know whatever I did it right. Right, Holly? They had more security at the local 4th of July than that. Yep, I know. It just fucking blows me away. And it's just supposed to be nonchalant looked at, like it's just normal. Like this should happen every, I don't know. It kind of blows me away. So anyways, let's say our haze, because you know me, I go squirrel about every other second. Night Owl got the boobies today. And Kaya, how are you, darling? It's 4 a.m. And I seem to be the second. 4 a.m. Jesus, girl. Kaya, I think you never sleep, honey. I've been watching this guy from New Zealand. He's a camping dude. AB Camping, I think is what his name is. And I really like watching it because, number one, what I really love is, I mean, it kind of sucks that you don't have like those pretty animals, but they're also the scary ones that can eat you. I kind of like that idea because, like, while he was cooking, the whole time I'm thinking he's like by a tent. I know, here I go squirrel again, but he's at his tent and he's cooking his food right next to his tent. Well, anybody knows here in the U.S., you would never do that. You're your sleeping quarters are completely away from anything you do eating wise. You keep everything separate and everything has to be sealed up. And, you try not to encourage them to come into your camp. So it's kind of funny. Oh my gosh. A foreigner telling truth in the Philippines. Dude, I love that. This is the second time you've showed up. I believe that I can remember. So, I don't know if you know, but we give wrenches it's easier for you guys to network that way. So I gave you the wrench so that you can actually network and go to other channels. And if you don't know how that works, you just click on their name and it'll drop down a box and you can actually go to their channel and sub them up and check out their videos and like them and all that good stuff. Just a great way to show support. Otherwise, a bunch of links have to be dropped, which I don't mind links being dropped. But if the links don't get dropped, then, a lot of people get missed out. So I just want to make sure everybody gets their channels out there. So anyways, and while I'm down here, hey, Status. Hey, Just Joe. What's up? Okay, so back to the top here. Sorry, I was on bottom. I got to get back on top. Gerf, how are you? You've been here for a half hour and I finally get to say hello. Sorry. I feel hairs. And of course, a little bit. How are ya? How's your baby doing? Roosters aren't even crowing. Guy says it's too early. Troy, what's up? And Miss Mouse. Mouse, check your email. Darling. AV, what's up? Wanda, how are ya? Holy moly. What's up? Jimmy Bita. How are ya? Are we close to the bottom? Are we close to the bottom? I have to say it like I mean it. Joey! Joey. What you doing? Sorry, y'all know I can't do two things at once. Ow! Son of a bitch. My elbows are just paying the price. Like big time. I keep hitting them on everything. I may be like somewhat autistic or something. Something's not right with me. And Status and Joe and Foreigner. Sherry, what's up, darling? Yeah, Jimmy, really smoky there. I'm originally from Idaho, and right now they're having really, really bad fires up there, and I think that it's bad enough that my mother-in-law, who has asthma, really can't go outside right now at all. She's pretty much just got to stay in the house and try to hopefully dodge it all. Okay, let's go back to... I just want to make sure we're not missing anything. So I did hear also on Benny's channel, he talks about Fox News even talks about all the cover-ups and shit that was going on, and it's like, fuck. Right status is completely guilt-free. It's free in like every way possible, so just hit it. Hey, Ghost Fox, what's up? It's almost noon there. Yep, we're at 9:30 here. And kimchi makes it good, yeah. I don't know about kimchi, but I can tell you about coffee. Of course, I don't know. A lot of people say the Joey, you should check your email. Like a lot of people that think good coffee is good. I'm not so much like, I mean, like those people that do sludge, I can't do sludge. I've tried so hard and I just can't do it. My daughter can drink some sludge. Now, let me tell you, you can pretty much stand a spoon up in that shit. Oof. Hey, Night Owl. In the afternoon for you, yeah. I actually sent Yank a link, but he's just probably really busy today. And since he didn't get back to me, I'm sure he's busy, which is fine because I'm actually not going to be here long because just so everybody knows, I think Joey posted it here just a minute ago. See, these are the things that I got to get better at. We have trivia tonight. Everybody come stop by. It's not on this channel. It is on West Virginia College Football channel. The link is there. Can I pin it? Can I pin that link, Joey? I think I can. Oh, Jesus, I almost put you in timeout, Joey. Sorry. Okay, there. It's pinned. So that is for trivia tonight. 6 p.m. Pacific Standard and 9 p.m. Eastern. We do some pretty easy college football. Well, it's easy if Joey doesn't let me do the questions because Gigi's not a football person. So when I go to do the questions, I just go, oh, yeah, sure, looks like a good question. I don't know if it's fucking hard or not. That's what she said. But hey, what's up, buddy? What a treat. That on you. You're so sarcastic, buddy. Yeah, don't you remember that Ghost Fox? That well, it's like cowboy coffee. Like I think they just add the grounds to it, like so that you can literally just put the spoon in there and you're good. um I was thinking back to exactly like when we would camp and we'd camp with the percolator coffee. Um that coffee, actually it was really good as long as it wasn't made too strong. But if it was made really strong, oh jeez. My mom could make some good coffee. Like she could make coffee that you didn't really have to have creamer in, even though I'd put it in there and it just used to piss her off. She'd get so mad because I put creamer in it. Like, that's just stupid. You're just adding calories. That's all it's doing. Making the coffee taste like shit. My cousin used to take her sucker and she'd dunk it in my mom's coffee. Oh my god, it used to piss my mom off. Of course, she did it just to piss my mom off because that's how my family rolls. Oh, does that irritate you? Here, let me put some salt in there for you. Okay. My hair done. My daughter is treating me to a day of beauty. Yay, Sherry! Doesn't it make you feel so good? I'm actually gonna really try. So y'all need to tell me on like every stream, Gigi, don't touch your hair. Just tell me that, okay? Because I gotta stop cutting it. Because then once it gets longer, I'm gonna try to keep it as healthy as I can. I need to start using pre-treatment heat shit because I haven't been. But because I like to make my hair greasy. Because I'm gonna go get a real haircut. Like that's probably gonna cost me $100 or so. But I am sick of every time I go in and I get a $40 or $50 haircut, I come out looking worse than when I went in. And I always have to come home and straighten it out because like it will have big chops in it. And it's been a while since I cut hair, so I don't cut my own hair like I used to because I used to cut other people's hair and it made a big difference. But so no, I can't cut my hair no more. It's no cutting your hair. Buddy, what are you doing? Why are you giving me money, dude? Stop that. Thank you very much. It is appreciated, but it's definitely not needed or not. I do not expect it. But thank you very much. And we have to play him a little something something because he likes it. And I feel like he likes I think he's gonna like both these.
Oh, you gotta give it better. Spit on that name. Oh, you gotta give it better. Spit on that name. Spit on that name. Oh, you gotta give it better. Spit on that name. Oh, you gotta give it better. Spit on that name. Spit on that name. Spit on that name. Spit on that name. Spit on that name.
There's a little hawk too for you. Hey, Judy, what's up, darling? How are you, honey? I seen he did a stream the other day and I missed it. It was like a test stream. And I went to go back, and by the time I went back, you guys were done. By the time I got done doing all my junk. It's good to see you, sweetheart. Ah, thanks, Warner. Trust me, it's not like I wake up like this. Ever. It's not funny. I freaking love those. I don't care what anybody says, man. I love hearing her say it. Gigi, I must have missed that. Touching your hair transfers. I know. I can't help it though. I can't. When my hair feels good after I straighten it and make it feel all soft, I can't help it. It's feeling a little rough on the ends though already, which tells me that I need to be using my shit. So yeah. Anyways, I'm losing people talking about my hair. They're like, spit on that thing. It's a little dirty, ain't it? Well, duh. What do you think I come here for? A clean shit? So anyways, yes, Gigi will be painting her grass today. I will post, well, I will take pictures and show you guys. Maybe I'll do a community post. I don't know. We'll see. But if not, you'll see it on Tuesday or in somebody's live stream when I show my proud work of my paint job. It's super fun. I have to tell you, I think it's stupid. I would much just rather water my lawn. I like water better than paint, but whatever. It is okay for the environment. I mean, I didn't go out and buy latex paint to pour all over my grass. It's made for the grass, and it's, you know. So I do got to go knock on my neighbor's door and go, oh, hey, I'm going to paint the grass, and after this, you cannot. There'll be no mowing it because you'll cut all the paint off, which will defeat the whole purpose. And that will irritate me. It's $80. I still can't believe we spent $80 on paint. But you know what? If that's what he wants, fine. We'll paint the grass green. I thought it was going to be nicer today. Maybe it is going to be nicer. I woke up just freezing. My granddog woke me up probably between my shoulder and my granddog. I did not get a whole lot of sleep. This pinched nerve, and it's so weird. Like right now, it's not hurting, but I just keep waiting for it to start hurting again. It's almost like you're kind of gun shy of your own body. You're like, okay, it's going to start pretty soon. I just fucking know it. It's going to hurt. And then the dog, I don't know what the fuck her problem was, but she would not stop whining. I let her out before I went to bed. She went and ran around like a raped ape for 10 minutes. And I threw her the ball and all that good shit. And she took shit, everything she needed to do. And then I put her to bed, and I went to bed, and Marvin went and put her, before he went to bed, he ran her around and everything. So she was good. I don't understand what her problem was. She whined half the night. I even went out and said, what is your problem? She wouldn't tell me. She don't talk to me very well. She talks better to her mother than she does to me. Yes, I'm talking about a dog. She frustrates me. I don't know what I almost think she wanted to play. Like she was like, okay, I had a really long nap. Let's play, Papa. Come on. Of course, Papa wasn't in the mood at all. So did you see my cup? What y'all think? For those of you who haven't seen it yet. Pretty cool, huh? And then the back of it. The back of it doesn't, it's just got the wet and Gutter's pup. But I love it. Everybody needs a hawk to your cup. And I think we will be getting a glass, a beer glass. Wendell's thinks she needs one. And I have a feeling that once we make one, then there's going to be other people that are going to be like, oh, we all need one of those. So, and we're just selling them until they tell us to stop. I mean, at this point, ain't nobody, ain't no big deal. Oh, yeah. How did that end, buddy? I can't. I think that person's just nothing but a troll. Yeah. That type of person should probably just never come to my channel. Because, not gonna happen. Not in this lifetime. I feel like I'm too high. Sorry, I didn't mean it like that. So what else? There's a lot of stuff coming out. And I got to tell you, man, if you are on Twitter, and I am not a big one for pushing stuff, but if y'all want to know the truth, all the other channels tend to, or all the other platforms, there still seems to be some censoring. And so does Twitter, but not to the degree that others have. And I got to tell you that the things that they are willing to let out on Twitter, there's your wake up call. Your wake up call sits in Twitter. And if you haven't woke up yet, wake up to that shit, because it will blow you away. What the hell? I think Benny's over. Hold, please. Yep, Benny's over. Okay, let's remove that. All right. Yeah, definitely not impressed with a lot of the other platforms compared to Twitter. I'm telling you, the shit that's coming out about the vaccines and all of that, and so that people think that they can not be fixed, from the sounds of it, they are coming up with something that's able to filter the blood to it's kind of like dialysis, but I think it's a bit different, to get rid of that in your body. And I don't know how well it works. I don't know any of that yet, but I just happened to see something quickly on it. Of course, it's on Twitter, and I could be like Rick and just go through my Twitter feed, but I have a feeling I'd lose a lot of people. So, and I only got 12 here. So, but yeah. Hey, Cynthia. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. I'm glad you came by. Everybody, make sure you check out her channel too. Make sure you're checking out everybody's channel. Didn't we have those things around 120 years ago? Same things called a spittoon. This is a little different. I won't. You kids aren't making me stay nice, or well, stay appropriate. Not that it was mean what I was going to say, because it wasn't. It was just inappropriate. So true. Social media is becoming PC and censored to buggery. I know, foreigner. Well, and I'm kind of not afraid to just get up there. Yeah, I for the most part, I'll pretty much say whatever's on my mind. Oh, look, Mouse is here. How are you, sweetheart?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good.
I switched over just about the spittoon comment, so.
Well, I mean, if you want to call it a spittoon, it's not going to collect the spit. Let me just tell you that.
I'm not going to hold it.
Well, it might absorb it, but it will not collect it. Let's just say that.
Hello, CFM's queen. How are you?
Tell us about the background behind you. Is it a green screen, or are you really in a barn? No, I'm not in a barn. No, not in a barn. That's my shower curtain. It is. It's a shower curtain.
Is it really?
It is.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep. So I'm in one of my spare rooms, and when I decided to start doing lives, I was doing them out in the living room, and then Marv would be home, or something would be going on. One of the kids would be here. Something would be.
Yeah.
So that's when I said, okay, I got to shift it somewhere else. So
Yeah.
I had it in here to begin with. Then I moved it over to our bedroom. And then I move it back in here to the spare bedroom. So, and when I did, to begin with, when I moved it in here, Marv's like, don't be showing everybody all our shit. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Because this is a spare room. So there's a closet right behind me with all my Christmas shit, or, all the kids' stuff and whatever else, boxes.
Yeah.
And he's like, don't show them all that shit. So I was like, okay, fine. Oh, and his, what do you call those oh, just a minute, it'll come to me. It's for your back and you get on it and it
down.
yeah, what's that thing called?
I don't know, the tilter thing.
Somebody's gonna say it here in just a second. Why can't I think of the name? I know, isn't Mouse's laugh the best? Everybody should literally record that shit and put it on their screen, like for their ring or something. Inversion table. Thank you, Ghost.
Okay,
That's exactly what it is.
Hey, Ghost, how are you?
So Marv, he used it quite a bit. And then and it was here in the spare room and we had it all spread out and everything. Well, then he felt like it hurt him. I'm not sure why. I think he went too far upside down. And so I said, now you know how I feel. No.
We have to know at some point, even upside down at a certain age, this quits working.
That's right. That's right. It's the grunting noise that doesn't make it very sexy. So
for sure.
Oh, this is bad. Okay, so yeah. So after he hurt himself, then we just folded it up and put it against the wall, and that's where it's been. And it needs to go out in the garage or something, because I'm afraid the little one, my grandson's going to get hurt on it. He just thinks it's the greatest thing, and he thinks it's a ladder, and he wants to climb up it, and it's like, yeah, no. So, yeah, anyways. So no, Marv does not get to go upside. Actually, though, the other day Marv goes, I think I should put that out in the garage and use it out there. I'm like, oh, sure. Shut the door so I can't hear you. He's like, oh, thanks, asshole.
You're going to go out privately and get stuck? Okay.
That's right. Go ahead. Whatever you want. I mean, it's your life. Live it, honey. Whatever degree you want to do it with.
If you want to do that in private, that day.
So how's that grandbaby doing?
Oh, she's doing fabulous.
And do you get to see her a lot?
Oh yeah, I can go there anytime. She's, she's in the same town. So right now we're kind of letting them have their moment to kind of get settled in before we all kind of bombard them again.
Oh, you're way nicer than I am. No way, man. The minute it was on. In fact,
well, I was
with
there.
My daughter, I stayed.
Yeah, I was there
weeks.
at the hospital and everything, and then we went home, and then we came back and visited her again. So we were kind of, down their throats for most of it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, give them some space.
Yeah, I couldn't once she was born, that was it, man. I was like, you couldn't pry us apart. In fact, like for Hayden's first 4 years of life, we called it sharing custody, because I got her on weekends and there was no ifs, ands, buts about it. I wanted her on weekends, and because I worked during the week, so I couldn't get her during the week. So, which, I mean, they should have loved. They did love it, but they still, I mean, Kayla would be here every single day, even when I had her. But she would stay the night here, and Kayla and Jeremy would go home, and then they'd come back in the morning, and it was like, no, she's staying here. which was probably good for them. They got some good sleep and whatever. But
Right.
yeah, I wanted my own time with my granddaughter. Same way with my grandson. I did give them a little more time just because it wasn't my daughter, so it's a little different.
Right.
Now, don't get me wrong, I bombard through the same way as I
Yeah.
did with my daughter. It just, I also had my son going, "Whoa, mom, Jesus, chill out. This is,
Yeah.
don't freak
Yeah.
Megan out." So,
Yeah. I got a lot of that too. Don't freak me out.
yeah. So, and I was like, "Oh no, that's exactly what I'm going to do is freak her out. She needs to know these things." I was dead set.
All women after us have to go through everything we did. We have to
That's
see to it.
right. Well, and I mean, this poor girl, they made her lay down as soon as she got to the hospital. They're like, "Yep, lay down. We'll just wait for the baby to show up." Well, then he was in the birth. There was no movement. She just laid there. So there was nothing. Gravity didn't get to help her at all. And she ended up just waiting until the epidural came along. Well, give me the epidural and let's see how this all rolls out. Well, epidural rolled out and but no baby was coming along. What the hell's the problem? Why not? Well, it ended up, she damn near died on the table and they finally went, "Oh, we're going to have to take this baby C-section." And, he was small. He was only 6 pounds. There was no reason to have to take him C-section except the fact that they didn't bother to they just told her to lay down. "Here, we're going to hook you up to all these machines right away. And you just lay there till it's time." And I kept telling Sean, "You need to get up and walk her. You need to get up and walk her."
Well, I can say that childbirth today is a whole lot different than when we had kids.
Yeah, well, it's probably why they fucking forget them in the back seats too. Maybe if you had to work a little harder for the little fuckers, you wouldn't think about leaving them in the back seat. How about that?
There were, I don't know. There were some procedures that weren't used when we had kids. I'll tell you that it was different. They had her on her back, and then they came in, and this was as light labor started, as it was going good. And, they were turning her, actually flipping her in the bed, from side to side. And there were these, it was like it almost looked like a rubber ball, but it was like in the shape of a peanut. And so when they laid her on her side and then broke her water, they were, it was just like, I'm like, what are they doing? And what is this?
So they didn't have her get up and walk either? She just laid in bed?
She did once, after they started. They give her 2 hours off all of the monitors and the IVs and everything to get up and walk around, to move around. And then once she got a little feather and started dilating, then they put her back in the bed and put all the monitors back on her.
Oh man, I walked a lot with all three of mine. Kayla was 37 hours worth of labor before I had her. The boys were both 6.5. And I'm telling you what, I walked a lot more with the boys than I did with Kayla. And when they'd say, "Okay, well, you can lay down and rest." No, we're going. Today, it's happening today. This is the day I planned for. This is the day we're doing it. I'm not staying the night here without a baby.
I found weird is that today they just schedule a birth. And I'm like, well, we didn't have that option. It happened when it happened. Whether it was early, late, or on time, like they didn't.
Exactly.
They pulled her into the hospital for a whole night before they got everything going. I was like, that is the most expensive night out I've ever seen.
The dumb and stupid. No reason for it. I mean, there's no reason unless she's extremely high risk, which doesn't sound like she was. No. There's no reason for it. None.
No, other than, okay, well, this was her original due date. And I said, well, okay, we can work with that. We can induce.
Don't you think that's weird?
Yeah.
I
We
would have.
didn't have that option. We didn't get to pick a day and say, okay, we're gonna do it on that day. Nope. We woke up one morning and went, oh Lord, today's the day. Oh man,
When my grandson was born, there was still big sticklers about the whole COVID thing, and so they didn't want tons of people in there. But I could have went in, but they didn't want us in there. They wanted to do this on their own, and da 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 da. And I went, yeah, okay, well, there you go. You almost fucked that up, didn't you? You fucking dummies. I was not happy. I was seriously pissed. I'm still pissed about it, and he's 2 years old. It irritates the shit out of me. I mean, yeah. And the thing of, what really irritates me is, well, so are you going to get up and walk around this time when you decide to get pregnant and have another one? No, I'm going to do the same thing. Oh, right on. So you're going to do the same thing that about killed you last time. The perfect. Sounds great. You fucking dummy.
Well,
if she was my daughter, let me tell you what, there would be huge arguments about it if it was my daughter.
I did get a win in this aspect. Through the whole pregnancy, she's like, oh, I'm never doing this again. No, this is for the birds. I don't know why people do this. I'm never doing this again, right? And I'm laughing and giggling. And yeah, we all said that the first time, And then after she had the baby, there was so not any complications, which is great. But it gave her this arrogance. She's like, oh, well, next time I have a baby, next baby. I just laughed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we're at least getting a next time, huh? Cool.
Yeah. Well, maybe she learned some lessons. That's good to hear. That she actually is like, oh, yeah, next time we're not. You're not doing that. Yeah. I just know that from the laying I did with Kayla, which was 37 hours worth of labor, and the laying I didn't do with the boys, which was 6 hours, that pretty much told me and I walked way more with the boy. I mean, I just would not stop. Those women, when I had Matthew, it was so funny because they paraded me down the hallway, and I'm not kidding you. The nurses were looking at the other nurses as they were going by going, she did it with no pain meds. She did that with no pain meds. None. No pain meds. And they're just like, oh my gosh, that never gets done anymore. And I'm thinking, are you serious? How? I don't understand. Something that you can do through breathing. I just think you'll appreciate it a lot more if you do it naturally. Myself, I do.
Yeah.
But and now that I see that, you got women leaving babies in the back seats and cooking them.
I didn't have those kids, Gigi. I don't. That one is hard for me to process. I kid you not. I did not have those kids that I forgot was back there. Like, that didn't happen with my kids. Each one of them in that toddler phase, it was like this game and challenge. The minute you buckled them in, their effort was to scream nonstop, one solid scream from departing till getting there, right? And it was this game of keeping that kid quiet all the way down the road. Like, you didn't forget my kids were back there.
I just don't. I just don't get it. I don't understand it. Just a minute. Of course, this is my daughter calling.
Okay. I mean, yeah, none of my kids would have let you forget that they were in the car for even a second. I just didn't have. And most of you will understand, what I mean when you first put them in the car seat. And they're doing that whole wet noodle. Like, they're fighting you even buckling them in. Like, my kids did that, It was a struggle to get them to get into the car seat and let me snap it in for them to stay there. So I never had kids that I could forget were in the car. I just didn't have that luxury. Yeah, that's exactly, Sherry. My kids it was chaotic in that back seat. There was no way you were forgetting they were back there. And it helped when, a couple of more kids come along, because then there's some older kids in the back seat that can help you, distract the baby, hold the bottle, shake a toy. But yeah, that one's hard for me to wrap my head around because I did not have those kids. Not the ones you could just forget in the back seat. Holy moly says, I'm pro natural birth. If at all possible, once the baby arrives, it's all worth it. I agree. I think I was more scared of actually having to have a C-section. And I didn't have to have one. But I think that was my biggest fear each time. Was I wanted everything to go okay so I didn't have to. C-section scared me. I know mine does it too. It's like they know when I get on here, they all have to call and blah 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 blah. And the rain yesterday, Mom, and the grass is green, and that is true, Wanda. And it was so funny. It was when I had my fourth one. I had this friend, and we went to town in her vehicle one day, and she gave me the most brilliant idea that I don't know how come I didn't come up with. And she even had longer arms than I did. But the kids got to acting up in the back seat, her kids, and she whooped out a plastic kitchen spatula and was like whacking her kids in the back seat. I'm like, that's freaking brilliant. Oh my God, that's brilliant. That'll reach them.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Mom, can you go over? I forgot to put the roast back in the freezer. Da 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 da. And she's on vacation. I'm like, yeah. Oh, and this can and I'm like, dude, come on. I just told you I'm doing live. What do you think I'm doing? Like, what do you think those people are doing?
All day long, they don't have time for us, and we get on panel and it's ring, 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 ring,
Yep.
ring, ring.
Boom. I love my kids.
Yeah.
They're the best.
Yeah.
You gotta love them.
I do
For
believe
certain.
that they are born with this little thing in their brain. It's like an alarm, and it goes off when Mom is distracted, having fun,
Yes.
entertained of any sort that does not
Yes.
involve them. That little beeper goes off, and they're like, "I think I need to call Mom right now."
Well, you should see the looks they give me when I go, well, I can't. I have my live on that day.
Yeah.
The fucking looks they give me are like, are you serious? Really? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I understand that YouTube is just YouTube, but just like when they say, no, I told my friend that I'm going to go have lunch with her on such and such a day. It's not a life or death thing, but you told somebody you were going to do that. So that's what you're going to do. Well, every week I tell people that I'm going to do this. So this is what I'm going to do. I don't understand why I got to get the eye rolls and the really.
And it's not like we stay on here day in, day out, 24/7, and they have no time with us. I know.
Well, and the thing about it is these are the little fuckers that haven't wanted any time with me for the last 15 years. But now they want time with me.
Now they care what I choose.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Really, they don't even want time with me. They just don't want me to have time with anybody else.
Like I'm still the same uncool parent that you rolled your eyes at 2 weeks ago.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Now they still roll their eyes just for a different reason now. Oh, you have a life? Ugh, how dare you?
Yeah.
So what that it's just on YouTube?
I know. At least we're not up at the clubs doing it, right?
Right. At least
Like
I'm
some
not out
badass
getting
grandma.
yeah, jeez. Yeah, always amazing to me. But yeah. I mean, I totally get it. Sometimes I can be kind of a, like usually I'm just like, I'm unalive, I gotta go, bye. And I hang out. So this time I was actually nice because she's out of town. So I want to make
Yeah,
sure she's okay.
I get the grunt. All right. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, I get the okay, fine.
Yeah.
Mhm. Oh yeah, just total snot bag. She acts just like me. It's bad. It's really bad.
It's bad.
My mom said, I hope you have 3 just like you. Oh, fuck. Thanks, Ma. Appreciate that immensely. Thank
I
you.
remember them saying that, you're going to pay for your
Yep.
raising. And that's really not quite how it turned out. I paid for my raising, my dad's raising, my mother's raising, my
Mhm.
husband's raising. Like, what is that?
Yeah. Foreigner said, actual statistics have showed that people are deserting YouTube for other platforms as it becomes totally woke. Yeah, I agree. It's been woke for a long time. It's just that they weren't quite so censoring as they are now. But at this point, you know what amazes me is that Facebook isn't as censoring as it once was. And did you see where Mark Zuckerberg said Trump was a badass for fucking taking a bullet and standing up, man, doing the whole fight shit? I'm like, right on. I mean, I'm
Really?
surprised because I
I
can't
haven't
stand
heard from him. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I,
Yeah, he
I
said,
I really feel bad for that poor kid sometimes. I really do. I mean, he's a smart guy. He's a genius. But this
and
whole
yet he's a
Facebook
fucking
thing.
idiot.
Well, see, the thing is, when he started Facebook, he was in college, and it at the time where the internet was, it was kind of an assignment in one of his classes that they all had to make an app. And so this kid decides, because he's not very popular and he's in college, and he's like, man, I want to plug into the parties on campus, right? Some way for all of us to know where all the fun's happening. And that's why he created Facebook. And it was only supposed to be a platform that was like campus wide, and maybe some other campuses would use it for their campuses. And then us old people just like took it over. It was like our daily diary. And then we turn around and tell him, hey, your platform is hurting people. And it's like, yes, at all costs, a platform should protect the people that are on it. I do agree with that, right? But how was this college kid trying to get into some parties supposed to fathom that in the long run, the creeps and the weirdos and all, the pedos and all that would climb in? Like he had, you know what I mean? How would you know that?
I think part of the problem is when you talk about protecting, well, when you talk about protecting, it also means taking some of your freedoms away. If you want safety, it also means giving up freedom. So you got to think about just how much safety you really want,
right,
or protection you really want, because in the process you give up your freedoms for that safety, or you just do. So that's how come I really don't like a lot of censorship. There are certain things that I do believe need to have some sort of a censorship. I mean, we can't have people running around, whacking off heads and carrying them around and showing them on YouTube, for instance. You can't have that shit.
Right.
So, but I think there's also things that maybe you don't like, but they still, it doesn't mean that that you shouldn't be allowed to show them. So I just think that when you start censoring shit, you start taking shit away.
Yeah.
Your freedoms go. The minute that it's the same way with any law. If there's a law, well, great, there is that law and it's trying to keep you safe, but in the same action, it is keeping your freedoms at bay. I mean, it is taking away whatever freedom that is. And so, and this day and age, I'm sorry, but I believe we need to hold freedom right up there at the top, because if we don't, we are going to become prisoners of these motherfuckers. Hey, Brent, what's up?
Yeah, and I agree with that. For every safety we want the government to handle is a freedom we have to give up. And the problem with that is we hand a decision or a judgment to another individual to evaluate and to make decisions upon. Just like, we talk about, the red flag thing when it talks about pew pew laws. Of course, I sit here and I say, well, Lord, no, I don't want a crazy person to have the right to have a gun. Lord, no, that seems absurd. But when you doss it out, somebody gets to give their own personal opinion, not an educated one. Just they are appointed to just give their opinion as to whether or not you are okay to have a gun. And that's weird to me. It's why did they get the right to decide about me? They don't know me.
Right.
I don't know nothing about me.
See, that's what I'm talking about. That whole red flag thing. I mean, all it takes is somebody saying you're crazy or whatever, and then they go, "Oh, sorry, there's a red flag. You can't have it." That's bullshit. Who gets to decide whether you're crazy or not? Remember, these people that are going to say whether you're crazy or not are the same ones that trannies go in and have counseling with, and they come out going, "Nope, the tranny, that counselor just said I'm cool for thinking that I need to whack off my penis and become a girl, and it's all you people that have lost your minds."
Yeah.
No. There's not a day in hell, and there is not a chance that I am ever going to think that way, ever. And I'm damn sure I'll die before my kids will think that way. So, absolutely not. And so that's my big thing regarding the freedoms. See, here's another one where those freedoms, it's like Gerf said, your freedoms stop when you stop. You can't be hurting kids or anything that goes on with kids. It's off limits, completely off limits. But because we have been so lenient and we haven't, and this is what I talk about with shame. It used to be back in the day that a lot of shit didn't happen and we didn't need laws because there were people that would shame your ass. And it might mean that they took you out back behind the barn and beat your ass, or the bar, and beat your ass to make you understand how wrong you really were. You usually came out understanding that you were wrong in the end. Now, those same people will go in and have another glass of beer together at the bar. So
right.
To say they were being bullied, no, it's not. But it's a sense of shame that certain things go on. If you don't have that type of citizens, if citizens aren't allowed to say, no, you're not doing that shit here. It shouldn't have to be the cops coming in and stopping it or whatever. Citizens should be able to stand up and go, no, you're not doing that here. Right. You get your ass out. And because we have let it go for so long, now look where we're at. I mean, look at California. They are doing crazy shit to kids. And I'm sorry, but you don't get much more evil than that. You don't.
That's right.
So I mean, again, there is a sense of you have to keep your freedoms intact, but they're also you got to keep morals with in line with that sense of freedoms. If you don't have morals in there, and I'm sorry, but if you think you are a moral person by thinking you should be doing things to little kids, then you got a huge problem.
A huge problem. Huge
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah. So, yeah, again, it all comes down to those laws that they want to put into place. And I think it's bullshit. Here's one of the things that I think should be totally changed, and that is when they put a law into place, it's called a blah, blah, blah bill, but underneath is like 50 laws that go into there. No more of that shit. You're done doing bills. You do one fucking law. That's it. No, you explained that one law, and I mean literally about one specific thing. You don't get to put other shit underneath it.
Yeah, you
And
don't get
that's
to
it.
say that if I say yes to this, that I also say yes to this, this, and this. No, that's
no.
not fair because I don't. Make these separate questions. Don't add it into one question that if I answer yes to the major one, that I have to say yes to the ones you've slid in underneath it that are no good.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just not, I mean, and that's exactly why so many of our freedoms have been taken, is because of that kind of shit right there, where they keep sliding them in. And I'm sure we're not the only country that does that shit. I'll bet Canada does shit like that all the time. I'll bet you can tell us, Judy. I'll bet Canada does that shit too, where they slide a bunch of shit in underneath. And Philippines, Philippines, I don't know how they roll. Gigi, great stream. Thanks for having me. But at 3:30 a.m., I'm gonna hit the sack and catch you hopefully earlier next time. Cheers. Yeah, we do that Tuesday stream, which is at 5 p.m. Pacific, my time. So I think I don't know if it's 3:30 a.m. there. I don't know. You have to figure that out what it is here, because I'm totally clueless. I mean, it'd take me all day to sit there and count on my fingers and toes to figure it out. So, but yes, I'm glad you came. Thank you so much, Foreigner.
Yeah.
And you have a great sleep.
Have a great day. It's a great day to have.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, I definitely think that that's one of the things that we need to stop, because they're going to continue to take everything they can away from us. I mean, look at what's going on with the whole thing with, like, I thought there was something that said, like, well, I guess it isn't, like how they're schmoozing camel toe right into the presidential candidate and pushing Biden out. I still don't understand how. I mean, she just could have ran for president. She didn't. I don't understand why they went, because I do believe they literally went to great lengths to do what they're doing now. I mean, come on, they've kept him. He's still in office. Why? I don't know. Anybody else would have. I don't understand that. If he was a judge, they would pull him. If he was.
Oh yeah, I think it was said best. The best meme I read was, I wonder if Joe Biden's going to be mad when he learns that he quit.
I know.
Yeah, you know.
No, I don't think he's gonna care. He's gonna be like, "Where's the sandbox? Let's go."
That's what I'm saying. It really wasn't an issue of getting him to admit he quit. The paper was signed. The paper was signed and stamped. It was right up and stamped, and they were like, "Oh crap! Like, he's going against script. What's happening?" And they did it anyway. They knew it was going to happen Sunday. They just couldn't get the toddler to process it, you know. So it wasn't him quitting. It was them signing the paper and putting him down.
Putting him down like he's a dog, like a dog in the dirt. We're putting you down, boy. I don't know, man. The whole thing, I do have to say, and I've said this from the get-go, if I can't stand him, don't get me wrong, but being somebody that worked with the elderly for so many years, you don't get much more of a abuse situation than you do with the whole Biden thing.
Oh yeah.
They literally abused that man. I want to tell you that I'll bet he spent a lot, all of his waking hours was literally trying to memorize shit. Like and the reason I say that is because, they probably literally made him stand up and talk and read from a teleprompter over and over and over, just so he could actually so he could stay in that mode. Because you got to remember, short-term memory, that's what goes first. And so he'll remember all the shit from 1902, but it'll be the stuff of 2024 that he'll have a hard time with. And so you have to keep that shit active all the time, or he's going to lose it. Like in one day, he'll lose it. So that's what I think he spent his entire time doing. That's the only way he could have read those teleprompters. I mean, look at how he'd just walk off in the middle of a conversation.
Well, mind you, it wasn't only reading the teleprompter.
Hey, Belle.
If you'll watch Biden when he does speeches alone, okay, he's reading the teleprompter. And when he starts to go out on his own or try to think of the words himself, he'll get lost. And if you'll notice, he'll cough.
Yes, I do notice that.
When he coughs, that is the cue for somebody to get back in his ear and tell him where he's at.
Yeah. Well,
because he done got lost in the sentencing.
Yeah.
In the word.
Yeah, they're like, right. At that point, he's like, help.
Yeah. And so when he coughs, he'll do it every time. Go back and watch. When he gets lost, he coughs. And then all of a sudden he finds his place again because they're in his earpiece, directing him back to the sentence that he was last on and feeding it to him.
Mm-hmm. Cognitive decline. Yes. It huge. I mean, like, just watching it was not just watching how this is, like, from day one, when I want to say it was even before he took office. I kept telling Marvin, look at him. I mean, we worked with people just like this. This is exactly, they'd start out in assisted living and we'd have to move them into our dementia unit.
Does
or
anybody
our Alzheimer's unit.
remember the other time that Biden tried to run for office? See, they keep us so focused on today's here and now that they distract us from who Biden was as a senator. And this isn't the first, Biden has ran for president before. Does anybody remember why he had to step out of that race? Because he got caught lying. Got caught lying big time. Like, they cracked him wide open. He didn't go to the colleges he proclaimed. He didn't do the
Right.
things he
I do
proclaimed.
remember that.
Yeah.
Well, and you make a really good point that he does this, or the media has a really good way of overwhelming us. And it doesn't matter what the information is. It's just so much information about everything that trying to get it out is, I mean, if we didn't have the other internet, there would be no way to get all this information caught and put out, because I mean, you just can't. Like, I literally, when Yank and I used to do lives, I would write down an agenda, and it was the only way to stay focused on everything that both Yank and I wanted to talk about.
Right.
And let me tell you what, it would become so overwhelming. By the end of the stream, we would both look at each other. I mean, it would become exhausting. That's probably why Yank was like, fuck this, I'm out. Because it took a lot out of him by the end of the stream, when you really got down to because Yank can go, like, he goes really heavy and he can get right down to the nitty gritty. Everything that I can never think of, he would think of. And by the end of the stream, we would be exhausted from it. And I think
Yeah.
everybody around us would too. But like, I mean, they loved it because it was information that you were getting to take in, and we did too. But I'm telling you, by the end of those, we were exhausted. And I think I told Marvin, I said, I feel like I'm becoming soggy with information. Like they're like, and
Right.
I think that's
Yeah.
part of the reason that I don't do those streams like that now, because
Right.
it becomes so overwhelming. I mean, there's so much information that you just trying to gather it all, like Benny has done here with the whole assassination attempt. That in itself, I mean, that's a lot of information to take in.
Yeah.
He said, we're not even done with it yet. We still have to process it all and, point everything out. So he'll be doing another stream, I'm sure, after they go through all of the information that they collected, because they just got back this morning. He hadn't
Yeah.
even gotten
They
any
have
sleep.
they have to take the law enforcement's timeline and squish it in with Secret Service timeline, videos that they've collected from the crowd. They have to put those, that way when they walk through it, they get a 360 view from beginning to end from all parties.
Mm-hmm.
And of
Yeah.
course, that's going to poke out the holes to us. When we lay everybody's timeline, each agency's timeline against the other one, we're going to be able to see the holes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it definitely. I think each and every time something big like this goes on, for one, I think something else is getting covered up in that process. I think that's when, even if they don't have anything planned at that point, when something disastrous like this attempted assassination happens, I think that they still hurry up. They're ready, like whatever it is, they're ready to start pushing whatever it is that they need to do, without us knowing it, because we're too focused on one thing. And then you regret staying focused on that one thing. And that's the problem, because now you didn't give that thing, such as the attempted assassination, enough time and get all of the information before other shit goes on that you now have to pay attention to. So you're constant. I mean, and that's what I mean by being overwhelmed.
You're constantly on research mode, and you don't even have time for the thoughts of what he's done in the past to float back in and become part of this big picture. And I think it should, I think we should remember back. He was a senator for a long time, and he's been playing politics since, I think, like 74, 76.
Mm-hmm.
And he's done a lot of crazy stuff when he was considered sane. Like, that has to matter to why did they think he was going to be a good president? Like, he didn't just pop onto the scene when he ran for president against Trump. He had years and years and years and years of bad policy, failed policy,
We've seen it.
Getting caught in lie after lie after lie.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, there was so much going on with Trump. Nobody had time to remember, wait a minute. Biden's always been there. We already know his character. Let's look at that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. I'll tell you what, it didn't take me long to become mentally and emotionally exhausted when I became the administrator of the memory care unit. Oh, Jesus. Now, it was easier once I realized that I had to leave my life at the door. Literally, the way that I thought about things had to completely stop when I walked in there, because if it didn't, you would lose your mind around because you had, I mean, let's see, I had 27, 24, 27. I think that's what my census usually ran. Joe Biden's running around. And I mean, all at different stages. It was, oh, Jesus, Lord.
Yeah.
It was a lot. It was a lot. Hi, honey. How are you?
Hello, Flatty.
Yeah, Flatty, she's probably going, hey, I didn't get a link. Why? I didn't send out links. I just waited until I seen who came on, and then I would send out links if they, if I thought they might want them, which Flatty doesn't usually come on, but I always send her a link just in case. You never know.
Yeah.
You're fine, honey. You can be late. As long as you're not pregnant, it's all good. We're okay with late. Just even though we did miss you. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know, man. I'm telling you. As I see, I used to think that the United States was the greatest country in the world. I really did.
Well,
I gotta say that as I see things go on, there are some other countries, and believe me, this is probably one of the hardest things I've ever said, but that make me turn my head and go, because I don't know if this is going to change. I don't know if we've got, because I think it's going to take more. You're not going to, I know everybody's like, vote, vote. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Keep doing that same thing you've been doing for how many fucking years, and seeing if it's going to make.
That was something I asked AV the other day, and we never really answered it. At this point, after 2 elections, now, the previous one where Trump won, the Dems accused the Republicans of fixing the election. And then when Trump lost, the Republicans accused the Democrats of rigging the election. So now, after having both sides of this argument, honestly, regardless of what side you're on, do you think that we'll ever even, just as a whole, trust the elections ever again?
Exactly. Dude, I don't even trust the medical world again. I don't trust the government. I don't trust the medical world. I don't trust fucking Fred Myers, for fuck's sake. It's just, I don't know. That's why I say that I just really believe we're at the end. Like, maybe this is when I say clean the slate, maybe this is not where we clean the slate and start all over in that way. Maybe this is truly where God comes and says, it's time. We're done. I'm so done. I've watched you guys do this. You people could now seriously fuck up an anvil, and nobody could do that for zillions of years. And now you guys can actually fuck up an anvil. Just give you a 3D printer.
It's only
you'll
fair
fuck it up.
He's like, dudes, like, I put it in a book. I told you exactly how it was going to go down. I told you. I put a map out for it. Like, I put a whole manual. It was in the Bible, and you guys still didn't listen. Like,
I just don't get it. I don't know. So maybe that's what I need is to put is hashtag clean the slate or hashtag or God's coming. I mean, those are your 2 choices at this point, because nothing else, everything, I still say it. It's a Band-Aid. Everything else is a Band-Aid. Hashtag clean the slate, hashtag or God is coming, hashtag everything else is a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
Fuck it. I mean, I don't know how else it's going to get fixed. I feel like it's a vicious circle. And I mean, do people really realize what we let them do to our kids?
I don't think so.
With the education system, with the medical system, do we really realize it? Like, do you understand that when your kid is born, the minute a baby's born, they're put into this little slot that says the government says this is how much money this person is to us from here on out.
Yep, that is true.
And then they track that person from there on out. That's
Yep.
what we got going on. And we're okay with that shit. We're fucking okay with that. I think that's completely wrong. I think it's absolutely wrong.
For example,
I don't think it's any of the fucking government's business.
right. For example, here's an example of what you mean. The Social Security card. Now, back in the 80s, we didn't have Social Security numbers going through school because the only reason we needed them was when we started working. It was about, your taxes and your income tax and all that. It was about the IRS. Now, as soon as a baby is born, when you in the hospital, when you fill out the application for birth certificate, the page behind it is filling out an application to get their Social Security card. Now, why, we do this, but why would our children need a number for the IRS if they don't have an income? But that's, really, it's what they now use to track us. It's used in school. It's used here. Their Social Security number is their lunch number. No kidding.
That's crazy. That's fucking crazy.
Right?
See, I'm telling you what. I used to say I don't really have any regrets. But I got to tell you that I do have some huge regrets. Hey, Kiki.
Hey, Kiki.
I have huge regrets now.
About?
And that is what I've done with with how I let the government basically take over my kids in so many different ways. With from the medical part of it to the education. I mean, every bit of it, they told me what I was going to do.
Yeah.
Every bit of it.
If you don't put your child in school from the ages this to this, you're neglecting them. You're abusing them.
Yep. We'll take them from you. And we'll give them to somebody that's going to be mean to them. How about that?
Yeah. If you don't take these immunizations 6 months, 9 months, 18 months, 3 years, 4 years before school, they're not getting in our school. Right? Like you couldn't even enroll a kid if they didn't have an immunization record full. If they were missing shots, you had to go back and get them before they'd let them in.
Yep. And then when I'll never forget the first year that we came, we took Kayla in to get shots, and we actually went through, because we didn't have a doctor yet. We just went down to the health department, and I thought, oh, this will be a breeze, because back in Idaho, it was a breeze. You just went down to the health department, and they fucking
that's what we all did.
That's the immunization book out, and you just fucking they stamped it, and they gave your kids the immunization, and boom. Well, when we got here, they're like, no. Yeah, first of all, you need to make an appointment. Okay, we'll make an appointment. Then when we got here, they made the appointment like 2 weeks out, which I needed it sooner, but okay, whatever. And then when I went down there, there's a waiting room full of Mexicans, none of which spoke one lick of fucking English. Not one of them spoke in English. And when they came in, I had been sitting there for quite a while. When I walked in, there was probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 families, and each one of them probably had 2 or 3 kids.
Yeah.
And they got left. They put all those through. And then I'm still sitting there. And by that time, my appointment's already gone and passed. And it's like 45 minutes in. And I've got Kayla, and I'm pregnant with Sean. And I said, so I walked up and said, can you tell me how much longer it's going to be? My appointment was like 45 minutes ago. at like 1 o'clock or whatever. And she goes, yeah, we've just had people come in that we had to address and get in front of you. So, but we're, we'll have you in a few minutes. And about that time, these other people would walk in, and then you would hear them say, she would say, well, do you have an appointment? And then the woman would go, she'd speak in Spanish, and then she'd go, oh, okay. And so she wouldn't even look at her appointment, because back then it was an appointment book. She wouldn't even look at the book, which told me she never had an appointment. And then she'd say, okay, your name. And she'd start writing down all her information. And then within seconds, she was brought back. And I'm like, I realized it after about the third person that came in. Yeah. I'm like, no. So I walked up and said, hey, really? And she's like, I said, you let these people in. You just told me that we were supposed to be able to get in. Like, we're already late. We're now an hour late. Mm-hmm. And she proceeded to glare at me and tell me that if it was a problem, that I could reschedule. Ooh. I said, bitch, it ain't a problem because you ain't touching my kid. And we left. Yeah. And I went and made an appointment that was fucking 2 weeks out at a doctor's office and got her immunized, got her shots that way. Yeah. Oh, I'm so pissed. Yeah. I just think it's, I knew none of those people were legal. I knew they weren't. Right. I knew they weren't. And even if they were legal, they shouldn't have been before me. Bitch, I got seniority. And that's how I feel about it. I don't fucking care. That is how I feel about it. At a job, you don't get to come in first and get the best schedule and the best. No, you're put at the back of the fucking bus, bitch. Get back there. Just like everybody else, we all got to fucking take our turns, whether you like it or not. Right, that's exactly. Where you get to go. I didn't get to sit in the front seat. My sister got to sit in the front seat first because she was older. Yeah. That's why.
If you want to be treated equal, be equal.
Mm-hmm. I have no use for it. I don't. I mean, let's be equal here. Yeah. Yeah. It's very frustrating. So frustrating. But anyway, it's the total. And the sad part is that was 30. Just a minute. I got to think about how many.
37.
It was 36 years ago.
No, that's impossible. We're only 39.
I know. Well, somebody's kid. I took somebody's kid there 36 years ago. They said it was mine. I was 3. She was 5. No.
Yeah. There you go.
I guess she wasn't. She would have been. It would have been. She was 3. So yeah, it was 30. It was 33 years ago. Okay. But still, it's fucking. I mean, come on, man. What the hell? Yeah. And it's only gotten worse. You wouldn't. I don't even think you would try, as a white person, going to a health department to get shots or any of that shit now. Because I'm telling you, you're going to the back of the bus, whether you want to or not.
For a while.
For a long while. Shit, they might stick you under the bus.
Just make you drive it around. Just sit there and drive.
Ghost Fox said my age ago. Damn.
Again?
Ghost Fox, is that how old you are? Is 36?
God.
If you are, shut up. No, I'm just joking. I need you to believe I'm 39. Don't you dare come on camera.
Right. Yep.
Don't make me go to the filter.
Because I will, man. I'll whip it out.
That's right. I'll go filter on you, bitch. Yeah, it's 36.
That is my new saying right there. I'm going to keep that one. I'm gonna go filter on you, honey.
I'm gonna go filter on you, bitch. Don't be making me show my lies, man. Used to be you just put putty in there, to cover up them wrinkles. Now you
Pancake
just say
makeup.
fuck the makeup. Back in my day when we got our shots, they would bring a gun. Yep. Give it all to you at one time.
I missed that by 5 years, I think. About 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah, when they left the big scar on your arm, my mom had
Yeah.
one. That was, I think, a polio shot.
It was all of them. That's why it left such a big scar. When they advanced then on
See,
the
doesn't
vaccine,
that seem normal? See, I can't fucking believe we've been so stupid. We've been so stupid. I'm serious. I mean, I get that there were diseases that they needed to control and da 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 da, but the methods that they decide, what a barbaric fucking thing to do.
I've always thought so too. I did, and I remember growing up looking at the scars on their arms and hoping I didn't have to go through that. Hang on just a minute.
Right.
I got a phone call.
All right. Yeah, that's crazy. The system is made to depend upon, but always fails 80% of the people. Right? Right? I know it. And this is why we really have to. I think even our parents were buffaloed. I do. I don't think then they were putting in the vaccines what they are putting in them now. But I still think that the shit that was put into us caused a lot of issues that we didn't realize, nor do we even realize it now. I think a lot of the health issues that people have, I think it stems from that. I do. I mean, do you realize that the first year of life, a kid does not need the immunizations? That they already have all the immunities built up from their mother. Do you realize that they don't need none of them? Do you know why the government says to give them from the get-go, the minute they come out of the womb? This is going to blow you away, but it's to train the parents to take their kids to get immunizations, because if they stopped, and I watched a video about this, and this doctor exposing all of this shit. If you were to wait that year, a lot of parents just would not take their kids for the immunizations. So if they start you out by taking them, then you just get into that ritual. Again, it's that whole brainwashing, that whole just controlling you and grooming you every day to do what they need you to do. It's fucking, that to me is absolutely absurd. Yeah, they do. Well, you know what, though? Fossey ruined that for a lot of people, because a lot of people don't believe those white coats anymore. Thank God. Thank God people are waking up. And I worry. I have some family members. I have a cousin's daughter and her son took the vaccine. I don't know what the son took, but the daughter only took, I think, one dose, her and her husband. I have a friend, a really close friend, who took the vaccine and the boosters. And I worry about him big time. I mean, like none other. And because he knows how I feel about it, we do not discuss it because he already knows how I feel. I'm not going to keep, pushing it down his throat. So I just leave it alone. But he knows how I feel. And so it makes it really hard, though, because it also means we don't talk about it, which means he doesn't tell me probably like he would normally of any health issues. I mean, maybe he hasn't had any, but I tend to not believe that. And it worries me because he's a really, really close friend. Wanda, they used to start at 6 months for babies. Now they start at 6 weeks. Well, no, when they come, well, first of all, there was something about the whole PKU thing and all of that. Like that, basically, that's where they start taking your kid's DNA. Like that's the start. Like all that DNA is kept. That's the other thing. They keep all our DNA. What the fuck do they need our DNA for? And I'm not sure exactly. You'll have to find out when the PKU started. And I think there are some shots that they give the baby right at birth. Now, I could have swore there was that he already had his immunization record when he came out of the hospital when he was born, when my grandson was born. Neither have I, Gurf. Fucking I wouldn't have trusted that shit to save your soul. I worked in the medical field all those years and never took a flu shot. They can kiss my ass. Art, the problem started in the 1980s when we gave the vaccine makers immunity. You're probably right. Yep. Prior to that, there were fewer jabs spaced further apart and made differently. Yep. Yeah, it's just crazy to me. I think you would think that everybody would be awake to it. Like not just people that have common sense, but even the ones that don't have common sense. And those are the ones that still seem to be, well, I know of people, I mean, like our friend that has extreme common sense. I still don't, I'll tell you why he did it, because he had a sister for a nurse, and she basically pushed it. And I argued with this nurse over dinner one night. At that what's the name of it? Some margarita restaurant. It's got margarita in it. I can't remember the name of it. Anyways, that's when we stood outside with masks on. And then when we got seated, we took the masks off and we all sat there and talked. And she tried to tell me that was perfectly normal. Perfectly normal. Why wouldn't we believe that actually helps? I'm looking at her like she's fucking got 3 heads. And that's when the fight started. And I didn't fucking stop. And I think at one point her husband even agreed with me. He was like, that is kind of stupid. We're all sitting here now. We're closer than ever, talking back and forth, spitting on each other. Makes no sense. Yet when we were standing up out there, we could outside, we had to have a mask on. And then even when we got into the restaurant, as we walked through the restaurant, we have to have the mask on. If you get up to go to the bathroom, you have to put the mask on. Fuck you. For what? That made no sense to me. I mean, I just don't get it.
I didn't get it either. And, okay, you got to take the mask off to eat. So that kind of failed their plan. So, they have to let us take the mask off. We can't eat with the mask on. That's retarded.
Well, trying to talk to the nurse about it, though, and this woman, let me just explain to you, this nurse is head of the emergency department. Actually, at the same hospital that Harley Dad goes to. I shit you not. So, this dumb bitch tried to tell me over dinner that the mask help to control the COVID outbreaks because when you walked, how did she explain this? When you walked, you would breathe out, and that was all of your sputum could be going out amongst people as you walk by their table. Mind you, this is after we've already sat down that she's telling me this, and we're sitting in a room
where nobody's got a mask on.
It's packed. There ain't an empty fucking table in the house. It's packed. And nobody's got a mask on except the waiters. I'm looking at her. I said, are you fucking serious? We're sitting here. How can you say this? You were not trained like that. I know you weren't. I know she wasn't. I mean, there's no way we were not trained to believe that regarding the mask. When you work in any type of medical facility and they go through the whole PPE thing with you and all of that, I mean, they're going to tell you that fucking doesn't work.
I know, right? Let's all put some cotton over our mouth, just a layer of cotton t-shirt.
I told her, I said, it just tells me that you are totally, you don't even believe it yourself because you can't explain to me. Right. You cannot logically, you cannot explain to me the reasoning for us wearing that mask. So yet you want me to believe that. And then you want me to go even more so into believing that the government is pushing us to take a vaccine and I should take it for the good for my own good. I can't even believe the mask thing. Now you want me to somehow jump over and believe the shot thing.
Oh, there was in the transition where everybody was like, forget this COVID thing. Let's transition back out. Let's undo these rules. For a split moment, and it was really funny because I watched it happen. A guy comes into the grocery store where we're all supposed to be wearing masks. It's still mandated. And he hollers out, well, I don't have my mask. And they say, well, you need a mask. He says, well, I'm vaccinated. And he shows his card. And all of a sudden it was like, oh, okay. And they got on the speaker. I'm not kidding. They got over the speaker and said, we have a person in the store who is not wearing a mask, but he has been vaccinated, ladies and gentlemen. So it's okay.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, how does that even make sense?
Oh my God.
Like, okay. So in this moment, the theory is we either have to have a mask or be vaccinated, because now if we're vaccinated, we can't carry it and give it to nobody else. Like what? Okay. That didn't make sense to me, but okay.
Okay, here we go. Brent, he posted a really good map. Let's look at this. All right, can we see it? Let me go straight up here. Okay. In 1986, Congress passed the National Childhood Vaccine Injury Act. Isn't that funny? It's the Childhood Vaccine Injury Act, removing all liability for vaccine inquiries from manufacturers. How is that for the kid? Childhood Vaccine Injury Act. So you see what I mean? It sounds like it's going to be for the good of the kid, but really it's not. It's not for the good of the kid at all. It's against the kid.
You can no longer sue any of these pharmaceuticals.
Yep.
And with that, we no longer have to tell the public what's in them.
Okay, now look at this. Here's the schedule. In 1962, they got 5 doses. Okay.
Uh-huh.
In 1983, they got 22 doses. In 2024, just a measly 79 doses. I am so sending this to my kids. Thank you very much, Brent.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. Anybody need to screenshot that? Let me shrink it so you can get the whole thing.
That's wild.
That is fucking insane. People should be
I know one of
furious.
those that is going to be on that 2024 list. Yeah, kind of angers me. It's the varicella or the chicken pox.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
when they added that. Let's see. My first one didn't get it. My second one did before he left the hospital at birth. And I'm thinking, well, chicken pox isn't normally deadly. I mean, I know there's occasions that it got bad, but that's with anything. And now these kids are never going to have the chicken pox. Like, is that even fair? Like, this was like a rite of passage when we were kids. It was like, yeah, we've only got the chicken pox over with. Yeah,
Yeah, it is. It is really disturbing. It is absolutely. The thing about it is it doesn't, even if you keep them from getting, say you look at all those shots and you go, okay, well, I think they need this one, and I think they need this one, and I think they need this one, but the rest of them they don't need. If you think that they have fucked with one of the shots, they fucked with all of them.
Fair.
There's no way if they wanted us to have whatever it is that they keep trying to juice us up with, they're going to put it in whatever they can. Hell, from the sounds of it, they're juicing up our lettuce, for fuck's sake. I don't understand how much people are really going to continue to take before they realize that it has to be, you have to cut the head off the snake. That straight up. There, another hashtag. I don't think there's any other way to fix it. I mean, they're killing us from the inside out and from the outside in, whichever way they can.
Oh,
They
yeah.
didn't get the big C shot. Well, kids should have never got it to begin with. There was never an issue. That's why I don't understand why anybody would have ever gave their kids that one.
That part was hard to wrap my head around too. All of a sudden, we have this disease sweeping the nation. And look, it was a real disease. I lost family members and friends to this disease. So I can't sit here and say, it didn't exist. Oh, it absolutely existed.
Well,
Okay?
but here's the deal. Here, whoa. Before you go just too much further, there was a disease. There is something called COVID. It's kind of like the same thing as a flu. And just because you had COVID didn't necessarily mean you were going to die. Unless, of course, you were 80, you might, just like you did if you were to get the flu at 80. Same thing. Here's the other thing. It's kind of like I said with the women that go in to give birth. They lay them down and let them basically decide whether they're going to be able to have a natural birth or not. Oh, you can't? Oh, good. Let us take that cesarean for you. Okay. Same thing happened with COVID. They took them in, and what did they do? They laid them down. The worst thing you can do for somebody with COVID. Where does it go? Where does COVID go? What does it affect?
Right. But when they come out and said, okay, look, guys, this is only a disease that the older people can catch. And I thought, that is the wildest, weirdest thing I've ever heard. And of course, we learned, no, anybody from birth to 100 can get this disease. But, in the beginning, they really played on it that the kids wouldn't get it, so they didn't need a mask. Well, we're not going to mask our kids anyway because that's just dangerous. But then they played it out like, well, because the kids don't get it. Well, the kids did get sick. I mean, yes, they were young enough and healthy enough that, it was a case they got over most of the time. But the way they came out with it at
Do you know
first,
why?
they
Do you know
diced it
why
up
they
into
got over it? Because here's the deal, Mouse. You can't keep a kid down. Kids don't. You can't say lay down and don't get up because you got a cough. They ain't gonna do it. They're gonna get up and they're gonna move around. But if you tell an adult you need to lay down, this is what'll make you best, quickest. They're gonna do it because that's what they were just told. They trust that person.
Yeah.
Yet in reality, what happened? That's why I say COVID was no different than the flu. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. In fact, there's been scientists and doctors that have said the same thing.
It
It was
was.
no different than the flu.
It is a combination. It was an intended combination of the cold, the flu, and the pneumonia viruses.
Girth, it put you in the hospital for several days because what did they do? The minute you came down with COVID, what did they do? They stuck you in a hospital bed and that's where they left you. Your lungs didn't get a move. Something tells me you probably don't have the greatest of lungs to begin with. And then what did they do? They stuck you in the fucking hospital bed and left you there and gave you all the shit that would make you not want to get up. So I'm telling you that everything they did was to make sure you didn't come out. They needed the numbers. You're lucky. I'm surprised you came out, to tell you the truth. That is one tough dog right there, Gurf, because that you even got to come out. Because they didn't want you to come out. I will guarantee you. They wanted you to be another number. But here's the deal. They still got that 40 grand for you. So it didn't matter because you were diagnosed with COVID and you were in the hospital. So they still got the 40 grand, which to the hospital, that's what's most important. To the government, it's really, they just needed one less number. And you really are lucky to be with us, Curve. I'm telling you, there is no other way to explain what they were doing. I've worked with enough people with lung issues. The last thing you do is say, just lay down, don't move.
Yeah.
Last thing, you need their lungs moving. I'm 35 and my 74-year-old mother that has COPD and wasn't jabbed gave it to me. Our experience was the same, even the length and time. Nobody had to go to any doctor. Thank God. No shit, Brent. Yeah, we got it. It was, I was like, yeah. I literally lost my taste. Yep, the whole thing. You know what? I've lost my taste with a cold before. When your nose gets plugged up, you can't fucking smell. Means you can't taste. Hello. Fuck, people. What are we new?
Well, don't you remember last Thanksgiving? Everybody was healthy and we decided to do that family, Thanksgiving, and we were all there. And then the day after, I get a phone call from my parents, who were the two we were trying to protect the most from getting COVID, right? Calls and said, oh my gosh, y'all, we have COVID and we gave it all to y'all. I was like, you what? Like, we spent all this time trying to protect you two from getting it, and y'all gave it to us. That's the way it worked out, though.
See, listen to Gerp. It went into my brain. I was senile for 2 to 3 days. They pumped me full of antivirals, and I didn't have any lung issues. Well, you're really lucky that you didn't have lung issues. That probably is what actually saved you, and the fact that you're a fighter. Something just tells me you don't.
Yeah,
you don't give up
absolutely. Yeah, no, Gareth's not going to lay down and take it. I don't think.
Nope. And I think that does have a lot to do with it. But you really are one of the lucky ones. Because they wanted nothing more than, and if you died, it was no skin off their ass. None. Remember, trying to even find malpractice suits. Try to look up malpractice suits anymore. Yeah, it's not like it used to be.
Oh, yeah.
You can't find them.
If they mess something up, COVID, that went down as the cause.
Well, and so many people. I mean, you'd have a guy that died on a motorcycle accident, and then they said he died from COVID. Oh,
Yeah,
really? And you want
yeah.
us to believe this shit? I mean, do you realize how many morticians are dragging huge clot? Well, they're not clots. It's actually
It's protein strands, is what it is.
yes, yes, and it's solid. It's
Yeah,
not a clot. It is solid, and I mean,
it's
they
like
got one. What they say?
threads.
The one. I think they got one that was 19 inches long out of somebody's vein just the other day.
Holy cow!
19 inches long. They got paid to write it down. That's right, Brent. I
Oh yeah,
didn't know my own name for a few days. Yep, and that's just the way they want you. You know, another thing that'll do that right there is urinary tract infections, especially in the elderly. You got an older person acting goofy, urinary tract infection. That's the first thing you do is dip them for that.
Art
Because
has
9 times out of 10, that's what it is.
Art has a good point. He said the loss of smell from COVID, and he's right. It appeared to be more neurological and not like nasal congestion. I agree with that. And that kind of makes you pause. You know, if this is supposed to be like cold, flu, lung and breathing issues.
Well, let's not forget that they did make this. Yeah, COVID's been around for years, but they added to this. They added to this to try to take out a bunch of people. We already know that. They've made it very clear. This is not medical information, CommieTube, okay? Just so you know. Nobody's saying anything. We're just a bunch of dipshits here listening and talking. Nobody's a doctor. We're not giving out medical information. So fuck off, CommieTube. Just in case they're
for
listening.
real. All allegedly, no doctors here. Go to a doctor for medical advice.
Right. Arby is not here. We don't have our house doctor, so fuck off, Tommy too. Those protein noodles, yeah, that shit is scary. I know, Ghostbot. I'm telling you. I just watched another one, and they just found the other day, and the mortician said, I think he said he thought it was the longest one he's found. That's a scary thought. You know what's really weird is my daughter and I have been having these weird bloody noses. And then my grandson got one. And not to be gross or telling you lots of detail, but it was like the weirdest bloody nose I ever had in my life. I've never had a bloody nose that immediately comes out as a clot. I'm like, what the fuck? That's weird. And of course, my husband's like, and your arm's been hurting. Maybe you got a blood clot or something. I'm like, Jesus, don't
do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't tell me that. So now let's just say I've become a really good drinker of vinegar and apple cider vinegar and eating lots of pickles and drinking lots of pickle juice and whatever I can to keep my blood as thin as possible. I don't care. I just want to make sure I don't get cut. But yeah, a little strange. Especially because my daughter, I mean, she's only 36. The fact that she's having some kind of, geez, that's the weirdest
Has it
thing.
been really dry, the air?
No. I mean, we live in Oregon. It has been drier than probably normal, but
I have a son that when, it was seasonal, when the air would start drying out, I would have to, put the humidifier thing. But yeah, he would get nosebleeds when the air would dry out.
Yeah, and my mom had issues like that. And I kind of wondered, maybe that was part of the deal. It's kind of weird because Lou and I both got kind of sick. Like we actually got a cold and, I had a sore throat. And it's taken a little bit like to get over basically the runny nose part of it. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. And of course I'll get like shit in my chest and, hacking nasty shit. It's like, what the hell? And then last night, my daughter-in-law texted me and said, did he have a bloody nose yesterday? And I said, no. And she goes, well, that's really weird because he has bloody boogers. What's going on? I'm like, I have no idea. Who knows? Hey, Austin, what's up?
I used to remedy it by having him put a little Vaseline around his nostrils on the dry days just to keep it, moistened up in there, and that helped a lot. But he had
Right.
really sensitive membrane in the nose, and he got him. If that air got too dry, he'd get it really easy. It would
But
always
one of the
freak me
things
out.
that I heard is that petroleum jelly gives you cancer. So no more Vaseline. I know. Look, I'm telling you what, we're going to have to spit on that thing. We're no more Vaseline. No more. Hey, Harley Dad, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Harley Dad. No, I think if that were true, we would have some wild stories.
Well, I don't know. There's just, how you'll get like this one woman, she does a bunch of research on different stuff that you shouldn't eat and stuff that you shouldn't put on your skin and how it's absorbed through it. She sold makeup, and she kind of realized that something wasn't right. And so her skin, I think she said her top eyelid started to wrinkle and her lips started to wrinkle, and it was from the makeup she was using. And so then she started to kind of check it out and see what was going on, and realized that it was actually
aging.
No, this was just within a couple months. Like she went from using these products, and so come to find out it was the petroleum in them. And it was she said it was like there's certain things that you do to kind of keep the petroleum neutral, or I don't know, she explained it better than obviously I am, but it wasn't, whatever the product was not doing that. It wasn't doing what it was supposed to do, which was keep those petroleum jellies neutral before you put them on your skin. And it was causing her to, when she went into the doctor, they said, well, you don't have skin cancer, but it's like you have dark spots there, even though there's not dark spots there. Like, even like when they did the whole X-ray or whatever it was, they did some type of test on her. They said there's not dark spots, but there's dark spots. So she at that point went, okay, something's up. Something's not right. So of course she stopped that product. She'd actually stopped all products at that point, and then realized that was the one product she'd started most recently.
Yeah.
And then started to hear from other ladies about it, and then started to talk with doctors, and doctors said, well, really, you shouldn't be putting petroleum on you to begin with. You do understand what petroleum jelly is. I mean, let's break down petroleum. Let's start there. Start with the word petroleum.
Petro.
Don't put it on your skin. So that was kind of, the just I got out of all of it. But that's the problem, is now I am such a label reader that, I mean, Marvin's like, dude, are we going to have anything in the house to eat? I'm like, yeah, there's stuff to eat, but there's no box shit. We fix it, and, we have to make it from everything. I mean, it's just how it's got to be. And, I'm sorry, but I'm done. You'll never see Hamburger Helper ever in my house. None of that shit. Nuh-uh. I loved Velveeta macaroni and cheese. No more. Nope. No more. So I don't know.
I disagree. I eat like a 12-year-old. I will always
I know
eat like a 12-year-old. Nobody will ever change that. Like,
well, I'm slowly realizing that I have to change. I ate like a 12-year-old forever, my whole life. I never gained a pound. I fucked all of that. But I'm starting to realize that I want to live longer for my kids' sake, for my grandkids' sake. So, if it means I have to cut out sugar, then okay, I'll do it. If it means I have to cut out prepared foods, okay, I can do that just to make sure I get another, 10, 15 years with my grandkids, okay, I can,
Yeah.
it's worth it for me. So that's one of the biggest things. I don't want to die yet. So,
But I don't eat like big dishes with all kinds of stuff in it. I still eat simple. I like my meat and just my meat and then my taters and another pile and like that. I still eat like a 12-year-old. I just like
Mouse likes her meat.
I don't like things with a lot of things added to it.
I'm that way too, Mouse. I'm a very simple eater. Like, don't keep them fucking spices off my shit. Okay. I need salt, pepper, and Worcestershire sauce. Well, actually, I need pepper, garlic salt, Lowry's garlic salt, and Worcestershire sauce to marinate my meat in. That's after I've probably left it dry age with just pepper and garlic salt to dry age in a cheesecloth for anywhere from 3 days to a week.
Yeah.
Then I take and marinate it in Worcestershire sauce and throw it on the Traeger, and that's like the absolute best. That's how I eat basically any beef that I cook. It's done just like that every time.
Yeah. Oh, I put my seasonings and I like the flavor, but how do I explain it? Like, you make them, you see them dishes where, they're
Taste them
adding
up.
bell peppers, they're adding celery, they're adding onions, they're adding tomatoes. I'm like, just give me my meat, man. Just like, I don't eat all
Scum
that.
dog. He needs
You
to hear
know?
me say Worcestershire again. Worcestershire.
Worcestershire.
Worcestershire. I don't know.
Where's your sister?
Worcestershire. I like that one. I need to remember that. I think you said that before to me. Worcestershire. I need Worcestershire sauce, please. I'm going to tell Kayla that. I need to write it down because I'm going to forget it. She will fucking laugh so hard. What do you marinate your steak in? I'll marinate my steak in Worcestershire.
Yeah.
It tastes real good.
I can't even remember where I picked that up at. I heard it somewhere and laughed.
I really do like it. I'm telling you, wash your sister. I can't wait to tell Kayla. She's gonna die laughing. My grandson has a 2-year-old birthday party coming up, and we're doing the theme is red, white, and two. We're not a bunch of rednecks. Yeah, yeah.
Love it.
And my daughter is really good about, like, she goes all out. She does all the cool things for the birthday party. Like, we're doing a drink that has like Sprite in it, and then you take grenadine, and then you take blue cotton candy and put on the top of it. So my job was to go find flossing sugar
and make cotton candy.
But the flossing sugar can't have, I don't want him having the red dyes that shit. So I had to find something that didn't. Oh my God. I'm telling you what, I spent hours on the internet looking for some flossing sugar that would work. I think I found it.
Yellow.
Well, here was the deal: is if it was flossing sugar that didn't have red dyes in it, every review said it tastes like shit. So I was like, Kayla's like, well, it's okay if it tastes like shit. It's only like one little bite. It's not like they're eating. It's just on the top of the drink. So it's not like they're all getting a bunch of cotton candy.
Yeah, okay,
I'm like, oh yeah, sure, right. You're going to put cotton candy there and not give them more than one bite of cotton candy.
Like,
those kids are going to be pissed.
You're going to put a whole cotton candy machine in their face. Like the whole cotton candy machine.
And they get one bite.
Yeah.
They're going to be pissed. They're going to riot on us. That's what's going to happen. They're going to go liberal on us and fucking tear shit up. We better just do it right. So I'm buying more flossing sugar, obviously, because Kayla said, oh no, just a little bit, just for the, nah. But then we are also doing icy the slushies,
Uh-huh.
the ice cones, the ice, we're doing those, and those will be red, white, and blue too.
Nice.
I know,
There you
super
go.
fun.
Oh,
I
it's so
thought about baking a cake that was red, white, and blue, but oh my God. I did a unicorn one for my granddaughter one year. Oh, fuck. It was a really cool unicorn. It didn't quite make it all the way to the party before it went from this cute little slender unicorn to some fat, chunky unicorn because it kind of collapsed in the middle. She still loved it, but I was like, oh shit, that didn't turn out quite like I wanted. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm not creative in the art, no. That's like
I would use the Kool-Aid for the coloring, but again, it's got all that red food that I don't want to use though. So that was something else I had to go spend like hours on, Wandy, was finding food coloring to put on the ices that didn't have the fucking number 6, 5, 7, I don't know, a bunch of numbers. I know that. So I just looked for some that didn't have any of those. I looked for stuff with natural food coloring. That kind of made it easier, was to just look for natural food coloring. And we went from there. So we'll see how that pans out. And then I did do flavors that are clear. So we'll just add the food coloring to the flavors and squirt that shit on there. Yeah. Yeah. I figured that was probably best. Just trying to, it's a birthday party. It ain't going to be super healthy, but at least, if we can try to keep from giving the kids cancer at a birthday party, that'd be cool. I'm just trying.
That is the objective.
The objective. That's right. Yeah, so I'm not exactly sure what else she has planned for it. In fact, I should ask her if there's anything else I need to do this week, because we're doing it next week. It's actually going to be a few days after his birthday, but that's okay.
Let's see, he's being 2. So
here's
party
what I
trinket.
got him.
Maybe little flags, little plastic flags or paper flags.
Yeah, I should ask her exactly what she's doing for decorations. I'll show you the car that's supposed to be here not the car. So his mom has a horse arena, and they drag it every morning. They take the 4-wheeler, and then they have this thing on the back that drags along, and it drags it to make sure it's all level and shit, so she can do her dressage training shit.
Right.
So anyways, they do it every morning, and he loves to get on there and do it with them. Well, you have to look back while you're doing it. You're looking back and making sure it's falling right and everything's doing what it's supposed to do. Well, he loves to do that. So he takes his bicycles and he makes me tie shit to them, like his grocery cart or a skateboard or whatever he can find. So he can look back and drag wherever he's going. So I bought him. This is so cute. This is what we got him. Let me see if I can blow it up. There we go. This is what we got him. I love it. I love that I get to spoil him. My son's like, I bought him a fucking wheelbarrow, Mom.
Oh, that's so cute.
Isn't it adorable?
Battery or pedal?
It's battery. I did think about a pedal one, and then we thought, well, we'll do the battery one. I mean, it was definitely not cheap by no means, but we only live once, and it's just money. You can't take the shit with you.
That's so cool.
And it's got a parental control to it, which I really like.
I like that. Is neat.
Yeah, I'm really loving it. I'm so excited.
Very modern, Dash.
I'm telling you. He already has like a dump truck, and he loves to drive that around. It took quite a few. 3 or 4 months to get him to really like it, but now he does. He loves it. The only
Yeah.
problem is it doesn't go fast enough. So he gets off and then starts running and then realizes, oh shit, it's clear back there. I need that. So
It's got the
it
load
really
in it,
makes
man.
him, yeah. I'm hoping this one keeps up a little better. We'll see how it does. Sean's like, well, maybe I'm gonna have to soup it up for him or something, but we'll see how it goes. Hey Andy, how are you?
Hey, Andy.
Yeah, so I'm excited. I can't wait for him to see it. And of course, my daughter-in-law, I go, it's going to be here on Friday. And she goes, do not give it to him early. She already knows that. That's me. I can't help it. I'm really bad about that shit.
Stop it with us, Janae, because we're gonna turn around and go bed. Like, don't tease us like that.
Yeah, it's super fun. When my granddaughter, oh my gosh, Mouse, you're gonna have so much fun. It is.
I know.
It's so much fun. I mean, right now it's great because you just get to lay with them and love them, and they can't tell you no, and it's great. You get that whole bonding time and all of that. But once they reach that age, like my granddaughter was the type of she was like the absolute opposite of Lou. Like Lou is all about going 900 miles an hour, and my feet. You would think I'd be the size of a fucking fence post from all the running around I do with him. And you would have thought I would have been fat with Hayden because I could literally, at 8 months old, I could take and give her a piece of paper and a pencil, and she would draw at 8 months old, would draw for hours. She's quite the artist now. I mean, she does some really cool stuff, and it all paid off. But that was her thing. Like, she could have cared less about like if I went out the door, she didn't scream and cry that I was going out the door and not taking her with me, and I didn't have to beg her to come back in. And with Lou, I'm not kidding you. You're like, come on, let's go feed the dog. Let's do this. Let's go check on mommy and see where she's at or whatever to try to bribe him back in the house. You never had to do that with Hayden. She was cool with it. But she was really easy to watch. Like she would do anything with you. You want to do a craft, Hayden? Sure. She'd sit with you for hours and do crafts. Lou, you might get about 3.5 seconds out of him before that shit's flying everywhere. And I mean everywhere. He is, and here's the thing. He is a kind of a clean freak. He loves to clean everything up, but he loves to make the mess. He wants to make the mess and then let me clean it up. How's that?
Yeah.
So he's a little different than she was, but it's funny to watch how they are different. And he's so funny though. I mean, this kid can go like nobody's business. He's not even 2 yet. And he got that balance bike for Christmas. And that baby has not stopped on that balance bike. He can balance like nobody's business. I was going to get him a pedal bike. The only problem is I can't stop him. And I worry that he won't. I mean, he's pretty good about when you say cars stop or whatever, there might be cars stop, anything like that. He's pretty good about stopping, but still there's that time that you need to stop right now. And so we live on we're in a city. So when he's at my house and with that bike, I need him to be able to stop on a dime. And they have a highway right next to their house. So I decided we probably better wait a year for we get the pedal bike, even though I think he's ready for it. I think he'd do it. Hey, AMC, what's up? Well, I was going to do a quickie live, and look at that, Mouse. You got me on here, and I stayed for 2 hours, to over 2 hours.
That's what we do on Coffee Club. Hey, AMC.
That's right. That's how we do it. We have we've definitely got the Coffee Club thing down now, I think. I was bummed I couldn't come on yours the other day or yesterday. I had Lou, and he was not. There was just no way. I mean, I couldn't even get on the phone. Kat called me, and it was like, gotta go. He's screaming his face off. I gotta go see what's going on here. And it's never anything major, but you just never know. I mean, I'm always right there, but it's too much distraction trying to talk on the phone and him and the
Oh, I
dog
hear
and
you. With all that goes on in our backgrounds, I hear you.
oh my goodness.
And some days they just know. Like I said, they're like, I gotta mess with her. Got to.
Yeah. AMC, I seen that Ohio's Freedom Festival is on today and tomorrow and Saturday. Woohoo! Go Ohio. Ohio's where the new VP pick is from, right?
Oh, I bet, Wanda. Like that's like having all personalities plugged in and going. Like
Sapphire Patriot is covering it. Well, is anybody else going live? AMC, you can post that link if you want, honey. Because I'm going to shut this one down pretty soon. And if people need something to go watch, they are more than welcome. Sapphire Patriot. I've never heard of them, but it might be a cool place to hang. You never know. Grandbabies are awesome, Kiki. They are so much better than the kids. I wouldn't have skipped over my kids. Well, I don't know. I'm kidding. I wouldn't have skipped over my kids, but it's funny to say. Yeah, but my grandkids have been so much fun. My youngest says, "Well, I really don't need to have one, Mom, because you got a granddaughter and a grandson." And I'm like, "I don't give a shit. I need one from you."
Yep, everybody owes. Everybody owes. Pay up.
I didn't do this shit for nothing. Get me a grandbaby, boy. You owe me, and I want it now.
You owe
No, I want him to be
arrangement.
ready.
Grandbaby, it is your firstborn, every one of you.
That's right. There you go. There's Sapphire's link. So the other thing is I think I have it pinned at the top, and that's for tonight's trivia. Make sure you all check that out and go sub up to West Virginia college football. Even if you're not a college football freak, you can at least go sub up. You don't have to hit the reminder or hit the bell, but you can at least sign up. But if you do, definitely hit the reminder and check them out. They are a really good group of people. The whole bunch of them are super nice people. I mean, they're all about college football, though. Let's just get that straight right now. But we do the trivia tonight, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard and 9 p.m. Eastern. So definitely go check that out and come hang out with us. We have lots of fun. Yeah, and then don't forget, tonight is Harley Dad's. And I don't think Harley Dad is in here anymore. He's probably was at work when he said, hey. So make sure you all check him out. I'm sure he is going live tonight. He hasn't posted a notification, but I'm sure he is because he hasn't said he isn't. So, yeah, make sure you check him out. Make sure you check out Mouse's channel. She does Thursday morning coffee club. So make sure you check her out and sub up to her. She does the same thing basically that I do. We sit here and visit about whatever comes up. Usually there's no agenda. Usually we just like to visit, and it's another one of those chat usually ends up leading the conversation by wherever they go.
Yeah,
I mean,
we're usually
they
on
could
some
take
sort
us
of
anywhere.
current topic.
Yep. And you never know where it might take us. Some shit might surprise you that'll just about blow you out of the water. Mouse had me going yesterday. I was like, holy shit, what the fuck is going on there?
Yeah, just never know, dude. Yeah.
Boy, I was like, wow, Mouse, Jesus. You just jumped right off the ledge. It was pretty funny though.
That was very interesting. It was very interesting.
Oh yeah, very yeah. It was interesting. There you go. Hey, Frankie.
Hey, Wanda. You have a good weekend too, Wanda.
Glad to see you, Frankie. How are you, darling? We're just getting ready to close this bad boy down. Sounds like there's a couple different places that are doing the Ohio Freedom blah blah blah. So Sapphire Patriots, one of them. And then also 1776 Media, I guess AMC said.
Yeah, I
So
think
check
it's
those
covering
out.
the same thing. I went
Yeah.
and looked. They're both covering the same rally, whatever you want to festival.
Mm-hmm. Good. So make sure y'all go check them out. I'm so glad y'all came. Mouse, I'm glad you came and hung out with me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I will definitely show you guys pictures of my newly greened lawn. Because we gonna paint that bitch.
I love it.
And see, Flattie's got me going. She's like, all right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll the outro. I ain't fucking around this morning. Stop,
You guys
Gutter.
have
Just
a good day. Thank you, Gigi, for having me up.
oh, thank you, Mouse.
Have a great day, everybody in chat.
Thanks, Mouse. Have a great day, honey. Make sure y'all go sub up to her. Yes, Ollie. Thank you all very much for being here. As you know, without you guys, I wouldn't even be here. Thank you very much. We will see you in the YouTube streets tonight. Like I said, we'll do trivia, 6 p.m. Let me see if I can I copy it? Let me do this real quick because I do want to make sure that if you guys haven't, oh shit, Joey, I ended up going to your channel. Where'd it go? There we go. Right there. Give me 2 seconds because I do want to post this one more time. Share, copy. All right, here it is. West Virginia football at the voice of CFB. Make sure you go check them out. Oh, God damn it. StreamYard, you piss me off. No, I don't need your help. I need you to get the fuck out of my way. They put that help button there. How do I get rid of that? Okay, well, anyways. There's the link. Thanks, everybody. Y'all have a great Friday. Hope I see you tonight. And if not, I will see you in the YouTube streets or Tuesday at that one. And now, I'll roll the outro. I swear. As soon as I find it. Here we go. Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye.